Fast.
So Darius obviously goes out and gets a 40 ball tonight. Felt like it was an old school 40 ball though, because he was getting into the paint and getting to the line. Can you just kind of describe the way that he was able to bend the defenses tonight?
He carried us. I mean, this is the first game all year I felt like one guy carried us. He carried us. We weren't good. But he single-handedly took over this game. I'm gonna just campaign. If he's not an all-star, I don't know what an all-star looks like. And I don't know his clutch numbers. I'm sure they have to be elite. They have to be tops in the league. So he makes big plays for us at the end of the game. Been incredible in the clutch, shooting the ball great, playing good defense. I don't know. I look around the league and I respect the league, but I don't know who's, he's got to be in, that top tier, all-star tier. Phenomenal player. He completely took over the game and carried us.
The Raptors come out hot there to start the half. I think it was 15 points out of the gate there. The adjustment, what happened there? And it felt like maybe Ty and George even turned the tide there.
Yeah, we had no adjust. We adjusted and nothing worked. We could not stop them. We didn't stop them all night. This is a game where you have one player that really saves you. Darius saved us, but we never stopped them. They played great. They shot the ball great. They executed well. Real credit to them. I'm disappointed in our defense, obviously, because that's 2 nights in a row. I think we weren't kind of locked in. They shot over their heads for sure, but we weren't good defensively at all.
Coach, you talk a lot about having a jolt off the bench and getting Max back. He's been able to hit 9 threes in the last 2 games. He had a big defensive possession against Scotty.
Yeah.
When you talk about not just his leadership, but scoring, defense, pace, what does he bring being back off the bench?
Yeah, it's funny. His 2 threes. I mean, we were struggling, and he couldn't. We didn't shoot the ball great, but he hits 2 big threes, and kind of that's who he is. Like he's there's no afraid of the moment with him. Like he's just you wouldn't know if it's a pickup game or the last minute of a game, and you just love his moxie, right? And that grit play he made on Scotty at the end, really firmed up, bodied up, just winner. All the cliches about that people have been saying about him in this league forever. He plays like the guy that's still trying to make the league. I feel like he's he's a guy that just is on a 2-way. That's how hard he plays. There's no privilege in his game. It's all toughness and grit, and winning player.
You mentioned being disappointed in the defense, but you had 5 players score in double figures on offense. You guys doubled the franchise record for 130 or more games in a season. Does it help having an offense that can shoot as well as you guys have this year?
I know. I just don't want to be too reliant on that. And I'm not going to overreact, to these last 2 games, but it's like, it's a little bit. I don't want the guys to think that's the only way we're winning, or that's the way to push this thing to a championship level. You need both sides, and sometimes I do feel like we rely on our offense a little too much, our offensive talent. So we we got to get back to our defending ways. It's not like 2 weeks, but for 2 games for our level of team, I think they must have been over 130 offensive rating tonight. I didn't look at the numbers. That's not good.
Daryl. First half, Jared, I know you talked about how Darius kind of carried you there, but
yeah.
Jared seemed to keep you afloat there in the first half.
Yeah.
Really, double right out of the gate there. Just, what about him and Evan inside is working so well?
Yeah, I did feel like I don't know. I wish I could say what period it was, but I thought J.A. had a little lull in his game, but he's been lights out. I mean, I totally agree with you. I felt like his energy and how hard it was, and Pirtle's he's a handful down there, and he's the offensive rebounding. Evan too, I think really bailed us out, but we weren't shooting the ball well tonight, and those two guys. You see our offensive rebounding percentage lately has been going up. It's mostly due to those guys. Evan only had 11 shots, but a fair amount of offensive boards. But I love how J.A. is playing right now. He's another guy. He's playing at an all-star level.
When you're leading the league consistently the way you are in the standings, you're getting everyone's best shot. Toronto comes in here where they're at. Just how do you think, and what are you learning about how your team is handling being the hunted more so than being the hunters?
Yeah, I thought tonight was going to be that game. I was already preparing my speech to you guys. Well, we had the stinker. It was going to happen, and we didn't. And I'm going to say it today. We didn't handle this one well in terms of maturity and getting over the emotions of last night, but it's totally human. I have to have some empathy, right? That was an emotional night. We spent a lot of energy, but I don't think I did a great job of tuning them back up to be like, man, we got to get this one. We didn't dictate. We waited. They were the aggressor, and we're lucky as heck to get this win, but. I think the other thing that's why it's so hard to go 33-4, because normally with kind of a normal team you have a bunch of these games. You have 10, 12 of these games during the year. We really haven't had one. Tonight was probably the first time, and we luckily escaped with a win.
Chris.
Kenny, you've done this a few times where you've just flipped a switch in the fourth quarter. Is there a feeling of you guys are just capable of flipping a switch at any given moment, and is there a little bit of a danger of that?
Chris, I don't think so. I don't think we're not four-time champion. That we're still trying to climb the ladder. There was. I never felt like the guys felt like we're so good we're going to get this one. We're not. I don't think we're at that level yet where we can have that mentality, and that's how it was tonight. We were nervous and scratching and clawing. I didn't feel like we were serene, we're going to get this one. We had to scratch and claw to get it.
Do you like Max coming off the bench? Are you committed to that?
I'm not committed to it, but I love it. I love it in a sense. He's just such a great spark of energy. But that fifth spot I think is going to be it's going to be matchup based. It's going to be who's in rhythm. Who are we playing? So there's nothing set in stone with that. But he's played great as in that 6-man role.
Nick.
Kenny, when Jared Allen hustled to save the ball and did that, get it to Karis LeVert for that defensive rebound with a minute left. What did you think of that effort, and does that qualify as ethical basketball?
Yeah, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask him. But that's where J.A. is right now. He's like our center of our energy, and he's making all the gritty plays. Never asked for a play to be run for him. We never run out of timeout plays for him, which I need to start doing, because if he's gonna keep doing that stuff consistently all night and night, we gotta throw him some bones. But Darius feeds him sometimes, but he's making all the winning plays, and I'm glad you guys are recognizing that. And sometimes I think, like I said pregame, he gets doesn't get the mentions he deserves.
Yeah.
Back to Darius. I mean, he said all season long that from last year he's regained that confidence.
Yeah.
Do you have this sense of pride when he not only can put games together like he has all season, but to have a game where you credit him for kind of saving this team?
Yeah, you know, obviously, you know, I wasn't here last year, but I know we went through a lot of struggles, some personal stuff, and you know, the injury and all that. So for him to make this comeback, and you know, one thing we were on him about is just having elite habits, you know, in terms of his off-court habits, in terms of recovery and lifting, and because the talent is so immense, and we rely on him so much, and he's and you know, teams will go at him defensively. He's got to continue to you know, treat that body like a temple, and you know, and he has done that. Like we've asked him to do it. We've asked him to make the sacrifices. You know, we need you here for recovery. We need you in the weight room longer. You know, I saw that with Steph. Like that was kind of Steph's evolution. You know, great talented player, great shooter, and then as Steph's improved his body, got stronger. You know, I think Steph, that's part of what got him to a championship level. I think Darius is in that same boat. He's got to keep that, keep improving physically, and you know, the sky's the limit. He's going to keep going this way and produce big time in the playoffs.
Joe G.
Coach, what went into the decision to start Karras, and what did you think of him in his first time?
Yeah, really good. Should have mentioned him. 4 threes. I think he had 9 potential assists. We needed downhill tonight against their pressure. Thought about Ty. That was definitely a possibility. Thought about Max. But that's where it was a little bit opponent-based with their pressure defense. And you know, needed his downhill ability.
Okay, no wrap.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keith.
DG, Kenny said blatantly that you carried them tonight. When it comes to feeling the game and being able to understand that you have it going, what is it like to be in that state of mind and in that presence?
I mean, when you see a couple shots go in, the rim gets bigger. So we needed all of them tonight, especially with that back-to-back. A lot of energy was drained from last night. So it was pretty tough coming in here on the back-to-back. And I give a lot of credit to Toronto for sure. They made a lot of shots. They made it hard for us on the offensive end. It was pretty physical, pressuring the ball a lot. So I give them a lot of credit. But, yeah, for us, we didn't have a lot of energy coming into this game. But get a credit to us as well for fighting for 48 minutes. We needed everybody on the bench tonight as well, and they came in and played some huge minutes. Vert came into the starting lineup, was huge for us. Max was huge. Ty came in, was very aggressive, and yeah, it was a team effort.
Coming into the game, obviously, you mentioned it being like a little bit of a lull because of yesterday's game. Was there a moment tonight that you felt like you had to go, or was it just like you came in with the mindset that like you were taking over?
Yeah, it was that third quarter. We couldn't get over that hump. So going into the fourth, like the later on the third, like the last 2-3 minutes, I just decided just to kind of take over from a scoring perspective. And yeah, my teammates, they were just right behind me. Even when I got tired, Max came and made some really big threes. Vert came in, made a big three, and was getting downhill whenever he wanted to. So, and even our bigs, I mean, we're going to harp on our bigs throughout the entire year, just letting y'all know that now. Coming in, offensive rebounds, very disruptive defensively. So it was, like I said, it was a team effort for sure.
There's what's it mean to have coach, your teammates, pretty much on a nightly basis, running an all-star campaign for you?
It's great. It's cool to see the confidence from the coaching staff and my teammates that they just have in me. It's super cool just to hear the positivity, especially to you guys. Like, I mean, this is your job to report it, so it's cool just to see like some of y'all articles as well. So appreciate that from y'all.
And then just considering where you guys are at right now as the top team in the NBA, You've been through a lot of this build. How do you think you guys are handling being the hunted team right now?
I think we're handling it pretty well. From the record, it shows that we're doing it pretty well. But yeah, I mean, we come in every night with, I mean, we know we have a target on our back, so we have to come play really hard for 48 minutes. I mean, we was on the back end a couple years ago, so we know how it feels to be the not the chaser. No, not the chaser. But no. Yeah, we was the one that was chasing behind a couple years ago. That wasn't the word I was looking for though.
Okay.
Appreciate it. But no, it's cool being unhunted though. You're gonna get everybody's best shot, and we have to stand up for these games. We have to be on one and have that hunger to not let anybody come in our house and try to get a win over. So I like it. I like having a target on our back because we have to stand up and have to be on all P's and Q's and at all times for 48 minutes.
Mike, Darius, just want to ask you about that shot, the step back you hit down, I think about 40 seconds left, and hit Scotty on a switch. And you know, when did you decide to pull it? And it looked like he had you bottled up pretty decently until you stepped it back.
Yeah, the 2 possessions before that, I was going in with some trees. So me, Don, and Tristan talked about that. And I thought I got fouled on one of them, and it made it hard for me on the second one. So I just decided to not even go out down there with the trees and just use my abilities and try to shoot over him. I got the space, even though you said he was locking me up. No.
He was trying.
No, he was, yeah. Sky's a great defender. Yeah, but just got some space and just shot it. Glad it went in, and yeah.
Nate.
So right before that, J.A. had that save where he goes into the stands and gets it to LeVert. How huge was that, and just what do you think of J.A. overall tonight?
That was super huge. The save and the tip back from Evan. That was, both of those offensive rebounds was really huge for us. I think those 2 changed the game. I mean, that effort for 48 minutes with this back-to-back was really huge. Evan Garland, Scotty, you guys are always going to talk about that little matchup. And Jay, he just coming in, just playing with the effort that he always does. So, yeah, I tip my hat off to both of them, especially with this back-to-back. Playing against 2 great bigs like that is pretty tough. So they was really great for us for 48 minutes tonight, like I said. So really tip my hat off to them.
I know you guys, get along really well and talk about the camaraderie all the time. But specifically with Jarrett, like, how does his personality kind of make the locker room fit well?
I don't know. That's a great question. Jay is like the cousin that's like kind of standoffish, but like still in the family, you know? So I be trying to get a good balance of Jay, because like Jay would sit all the way in the front of the bus, but then come talk to us at dinner and like just have like a regular great conversation. But then like if Jay is not feeling you tonight or like that day, like you have to go over there and talk to him like, so what you doing on your PC now? Or like what you building now? So it's but he's great for our group though, because he brings so much energy on the floor, and then he's hilarious off the floor. So like that fits our character. But then like he has that quiet side as well, when like you really want to bring him into the family, to like the funny category. So like that's when you just have to like just reel him in, like, let's go Jay, come on. But I don't know if that answers your question, but I mean that's my dog though. Jay, that's my road dog, that's my brother. So he's always gonna be in our family for sure.
Okay.
You've shared your journey of regaining the confidence from last year into this year throughout this season. For you, do these moments, these games kind of highlight you getting to where you knew you could be?
Yeah, for sure. It just shows you the confidence that I'm having right now. I'm shooting the ball at a pretty good clip, which is helping a lot. and my teammates are getting me open a lot, having a lot of trust in me, and they hit me when I'm open to make shots easier. So I give them the credit. I give the coaching staff the credit for this. They instilled the confidence in me from day one since they got here. They wanted me to be the player that I've once was before the injuries. And like you said, I'm trying to get back to that, trying to get back to the all-star level, and just trying to show the league that I'm one of the best point guards in this league.
Last two, Jackson and Ben Spence.
So you guys are winning at a historic rate, but Kenny, when he was in here, he wasn't really happy with the team's overall performance today. He said if you guys were like a normal team, you would have lost this one. But what makes this team not normal that you guys don't lose these games?
The two best bigs in the league, to be honest with you, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, and our depth. Our bench performance is always great. They always bring a lot of energy for us. Even if they're not making shots or anything like that, they're going to bring it defensively, and that's what we need most, because our defense fuels our offense to get on transition. We get layups, we get open threes from there. But our centerpiece is definitely our two bigs, the two best bigs in the league. They've been doing it all year. Seen on the big stage last night, then come back do it again tonight was really huge, and that's why we're so good.
You're playing with a high level of consistency that I don't think we've seen at this level. What do you attribute that to?
A lot of film. And Kenny said I've been working on my body. I've been lifting a little bit, working on some recovery, and just trying to get my body right for this 82-game season. It's a long season, so just try to be up for every game, try to make sure I'm healthy or I'm feeling good for every game.
Last one, Spence.
This might be a weird question, but a 40 ball that comes this way, 14 to 22 from the field, not too many threes, a lot of it was in the paint. Is that any more rewarding? I think you went 8 of 9 from the line too, got the free throw stripe. Just feels like it was more of a physical 40 than maybe one that was from beyond the arc.
40 ball's a 40 ball. Get it how you get it. That's what my teammate's going to tell me, so I'm going to say it to you.
And just real quick, Vert plays, I think, 20 minutes yesterday off the bench, comes in, plays 37 tonight in the starting lineup. Just him staying ready to do that, and I think he guarded Shea well yesterday, and then he was picking up ball handlers today defensively.
Yeah, Vert's been great. His role is changing every week, it seems like. He's in and out the starting lineup. He's our sixth man. He's a great defender. He's a scorer. I mean, Vert does it all for us, especially at this guard position. Like you said, he guarded Shea last night, and then he comes out and have 18 tonight. It just shows that he's one of the best six men in this league, because he can be a starter one day and be a six man coming off the bench and having 20 or whatever it is, and just having a huge impact on both sides of the ball. So, he's a huge key to us being a great team that we are, and we're going to need him for the rest of the season and in the playoffs.
Okay, so we're off, Pete.